Thomas Crossbow Hinchman in Northampton, England. His efforts on behalf of the Hinchman family include family research, trips to England, Hinchman coat of arms, Humphrey Henchman banner in 1990, Hinchman Heritage in England Week 1992, Humphrey Henchman Communion Service 1992, and Exploring the Hinchman Heritage in America 1993. Thanks to this man, thanks to the research of this man and his sisters, we have found our way to the Monroe County area of West Virginia. Our cousin, a native West Virginian, is now a resident of Dallas, Texas. Will you please welcome Robert Hinchman.
I'm here strictly because of the fact my sister is interested in Hinchman genealogy. And if any of you have brothers and sisters and cousins who, when you try to tell them anything about the Hinchman, they say, oh, shut up. Well, I was in that kind of a condition. I would go to Florida to visit my sister Corinne and my sister Wabel, who lived back to back. And Wabel was about as interested in Hinchman genealogy as I was, which made my sister Corinne forced her to write other Hinchmen because none of us was particularly interested. In 1964, did I say 1964? Thank God, because I was suddenly in the 16th century. She asked me on this trip to England if I could look up the tomb of Humphrey Henchman. I said, how in the hell am I going to find a tomb of Humphrey Henchman when you don't know where he's buried? Well, I went to have lunch with some friends, and I said, I have a very peculiar job. I'm trying to find the tomb of Humphrey Henchman, who we think was a bishop of London. Could you help me? He said, sure. So he took me to the British Library, and we looked up Humphrey Henchman, and found out he was buried in the south aisle of Fulham, the All Saints Fulham Parish Church. So we got back to the apartment, I asked him, where was this church? He said, it's right down the road. So we went. The church was closed, and we hadn't thought of calling beforehand. And the verger happened to be coming by, and my friend Felix is a very bold man. He said, look, open up this church immediately. This boy's ancestor is buried there. And I used my finger like this. This is Felix. He said, now over there, and you're in the bus with him, there's somebody's eyes gone off back. And Felix is always doing this. Well, we went into the church and looked in the south aisle and couldn't find Humphrey. I was, and I still am, on Bumax. And a few of you may know what that is. It's a diuretic. So I had to run, and I asked the verger if there was a place that I could go to this church. And he said, no, it's across the street in the pub. So while I was away in the pub, they found his tombstone, but it was way in the corner. Well, finding that tombstone changed my entire relationship towards genealogy. Because for the first time in my life, other than members of my own family, I had never seen anything that had dates like 1592 to 1675. That started me off on my tour of the Hinchman family. I'm going to